Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 21 of this, the 2019-2020 Premier League season, the final video that I'll do this year, but don't worry, there'll be more videos coming out
more next year
in the next week or so. But yeah, before we get on to this week's predictions, let's have a look at how well we got on last week in week 20.
So last week had a pretty average week. I got 7 points with one perfect score, and that being Chelsea to beat Arsenal 2-1.
Yeah, how Arsenal chucked that away was as well terrible.
More like the referee that was in charge, Craig Pawson, messing things up yet again in Chelsea's favour.
Arsenal terrible at the moment.
I know.
Yeah, last week I had an absolute disaster of a week, Nathan.
Yeah.
I came away with just the 4 points and no perfect scores. Representing the viewers last week was James AVFC, I think he's a Villa fan, and James came away with 7 points. So overall now, Nathan, you're on 151 points for the season. I'm on 143 points, trading quite a bit now, and the viewers are on 138 points. Top scorer of the week, well actually there was two last week, Connor Downey and Matthew_C02 both came away with 15 points and both had 4 perfect scores as well. So congratulations, Matthew and Connor. For those of you who are playing along in the Fantasy Football League, I'm going to leave the top 10 yet again for the moment at the end of the video. But for now, let's crack on and make some predictions.
Okay, so first up we have Brighton, and they're playing Chelsea. Now Chelsea managed to edge forward against Arsenal. Mind, yes, you said Arsenal have been terrible recently, but then again, Craig Pawson helped them out yet again. Brighton, 14th, yes, they did win last time around, but that's only, I think, their second win in their last 6 matches. They did end up beating Bournemouth 2-0, but then again, Bournemouth aren't playing well at all. And then Chelsea, of course, nudging past, even though Chelsea have been pretty poor recently, only getting, well, Robin Hood affected, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm probably going to give this one to Chelsea. I reckon that Frank Lampard will have them whipped up for this and wanting to end 2019 on a high, so I reckon it'll be 2-1 to the Blues.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm actually going to go for a home win in this one.
Oh, really?
I think that Brighton have been playing pretty well recently. Aaron Moy on the weekend looked really good there in the midfield. But Chelsea in different form themselves. How Arsenal chucked that away last weekend, I will not know. They are terrible. But yeah, in this one, I'm going to go for a home win. Brighton fans will be happy. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Seagulls in this one. Next up, we got Burnley against Aston Villa. This also takes place at 12:30 on Wednesday.
On BT Sport, I may suggest. Yeah, all these matches are on BT Sport, which quite frankly is absolutely disgusting. But anyway.
Yeah, Burnley against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, I think they've only won 1 win now in the last 7 matches. Burnley, okay, unlucky slightly, you could say, last weekend. Well, no, unlucky losing at home. Surprisingly, I thought against Manchester United. Manchester United looked pretty good in that match, but I can only see a win for the home side this weekend, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for Burnley.
Yeah, I agree with you in a way, but because Burnley at home, and they have been playing really well recently, and their home form is really good as well. I can only see Burnley. Definitely winning this one. There's no way Villa are up to the standard at the moment. They are really a Fulham in disguise, especially with the way they've been playing recently. So 2-0 Burnley. Next up, we move on to the first of the 3 o'clocks, which is also an absolute disgrace, and that was between Newcastle versus Leicester. Now, Leicester beating West Ham 2-1 last week. Out the door goes Pellegrini. Thought that was a good result for them, especially being away and with all the fixture congestion as well. And without Vardy, which is really good. Especially for Leicester to show him that, well, they don't really need him, even though he is a vital asset, but they can win matches without him. But Newcastle, last time around, did lose to Everton, but then again, Everton have been on fire recently. And really in this one, I think it'll be a close affair, but I can see Leicester pulling away at the end, and I think Vardy's going to be on fire because he has that little rest. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, I think it will be a tough match for Leicester this one. Yeah. Jamie Vardy will be back. I've been looking at physio.com, and it says on there that he'll definitely be back for the Newcastle fixture. Newcastle being very strong at home this season, although they did lose at home last time out against Everton. So Leicester, I think they've only won 1 in their last 4 fixtures. However, I think they'll have too much for Newcastle in this fixture. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away win to the Foxes. Next up, we've got Southampton against Tottenham. Southampton currently in 15th position, although they've won 2 out of their last 3 matches. Tottenham sort of, their form is all over the place at the moment. They find themselves in 6th position. I was thinking that this could be another draw. I think Southampton at home, but I'm going to give Tottenham the benefit of the doubt here. I think quality-wise throughout their ranks they're superior to Southampton, so I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 away win to Spurs in this fixture.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Spurs should really be winning this as well, and I mean, if Spurs want to go ahead and push up the table and stop getting those stupid draws and results that they're getting recently, then they got to look at this one and definitely think we can win this, and I think it'll be 2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, Harry Kane's starting to score goals as well.
Yeah, that's good under Mourinho, and Dele Alli's been on fire.
He has, yeah.
To be fair, so moving on to the next match, we've got Watford versus Wolves in another tough game to predict, or in a really tough game to predict. Wolves going up against Liverpool and narrowly losing, you could say, but VAR
absolute terrible again. Wolves should have got something out of that match.
Yeah, I know how, the offside decision on, who was it, Jimenez, I believe. His hand was offside. Not even his body was offside. Just his hand. How can you distinguish that as offside? So say for example, you're actually behind the defender. You stick your arm out. You're offside. That does not constitute being offside. Offside was brought in to prevent goal hanging, not to predict or. Well, with the decisions that Liverpool have been getting, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I heard on the radio today they're kind of reforming it in the way
they need to,
in the way that that it should only be used in clear cut. Well, that's how it should be anyway. Clear cut decisions, because it's been taking a couple of minutes for these decisions to be made.
Wasting time, and some of them are stupid.
Yeah, and so you get the fans celebrating, and then all of a sudden, it's gone to VAR. It's taken 2-3 minutes to make a decision, and then goal is ruled out, or there's an offside or something. So terrible. But continue. Sorry, Nathan.
But the thing is, I'm going to add to something on VAR. The worst thing is we need it. All the decisions last season for all these
and this
teams,
season.
and this season as well. Because even last season with VAR, loads of people were saying clear-cut chances and clear-cut things that the referee should be picking up on were not being picked up upon. So we need reform with VAR, and really we should be modelling the Champions League. Now, I'm not saying the Champions League is perfect, but they're doing things right. They're making the referee look at the footage before they make a decision, whereas the ref is not allowed to look at the footage
but that takes all too much time. It should be over in 10 seconds and that's it.
Yeah, but you can't have some guy in a room who can do what he wants, dictating what the referee can or can't do, because what is the point of the referee? He's just standing there blowing a whistle, doing nothing else. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, moving back on to Watford Wolves. Wolves were doing well until, of course, that Liverpool game. They were on a massive run, beating Man City and other teams up the table. Really good comeback, especially Adama Traore's on fire. Watford 19th position, starting to make ground now. I don't think they haven't lost in the last 4 matches. I don't think. Nigel Pearson really turning things around there, but that's going to come to an end quick, because Nuno Espirito Santo is going to want Wolves to bounce back from the Liverpool loss, and I think it'll be 2-1 to Wolves.
Yeah, I think Wolves will be seething a little bit after those dubious decisions against Liverpool. However, Watford are playing really good at the moment. Impressed since Pearson's come in. Let's have a look at their last 5 fixtures. They drew at home against Palace. Lost away against Liverpool, they beat Manchester United 2-0. They drew away against Sheffield United, very good point that one, and then last time out they beat Aston Villa.
Made a statement there as well.
They did. So I think Watford are going to get something out of this game, just for the way they're playing. They've got Sarr's looking excellent in midfield, and Troy Deeney scoring as well. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this fixture. Next up, we've got Man City against Everton. Now this takes place at 5:30 on Wednesday evening, New Year's Day. Another difficult one predict Everton climbing the table now. There's the heady heights of 10th position.
Just
incredible, really. Manchester City, formish. Well, they've won 3 out of their last 4 fixtures, so I think they're going to be too strong. I think they'll pass Everton off the park in this one. De Bruyne is in fine form at the moment. I think he's going to be the difference. Aguero coming back into the side as well, scoring as well on his return. So I'm going to go for a victory to the citizens, but it's going to be narrow, because Everton, they're really grinding out these results at the moment. But I'm going to go for a home win, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester City.
Yeah, I can see Man City pushing through on this one, but I actually think they're going to keep a clean sheet at home. I think this is the one where Ancelotti will really see the cracks in the Everton defence and where they really need to improve, well, within the whole team in general, really. So you can build up on it during the January transfer window. But Man City, way too strong. De Bruyne 2 goals. Maybe Aguero might sneak one in, but 2-0.
Yeah, they're only 5 points off European spots as well.
That's very good.
Which is incredible, really, with the start of the season that they had.
What a turnaround, though. But anyway, moving on. Norwich Crystal Palace. Now, Norwich had the most ridiculous VAR call of the week. Pookie wasn't even offside, and they still call him offside. Ridiculous.
Another terrible. We could make a whole
that
video
was the
on
worst
this,
one.
I think we'll just move on and start ranting about VAR. I think so.
Yeah, I know. 4 decisions though in one weekend is, I got to mention, is ridiculous. So
I think Sheffield United as well. Did they have anything?
It was Southampton, Liverpool, Pookie for Norwich, and
Wolves as well.
Wolves, yeah, that's the one. But anyway, Norwich, foot of the table, haven't won in over 6 matches, really doing poorly. Palace, really good away form. I think they have the worst home record in the league at the moment. But then again, they are playing away, and with Norwich, how they've been playing recently, even though they did have a good game last time around against Spurs, I think they're just not going to turn up against Palace, and Palace will win 2-0, I reckon. Yeah,
Norwich had a good point, you could say, against Spurs.
Relatively good.
On the weekend, but I think that Palace are going to sneak this one 1-0. Next up, we got the returning David Moyes taking over at West Ham against Bournemouth, putting on his slippers, getting into the manager's room, and like a fine glove. Not sure if the West Ham fans are overly keen on the reappointment.
The amount of abuse that Golden Sullivan were getting on Twitter it was mental.
Now, whether he's not a sexy sort of signing or a boring signing, and they didn't want him there before, but he'll steady the ship, and I'm sure he'll do a fine job.
I doubt it.
I think he will, because I'm sure he did quite well last time as well.
Yeah, he did reasonably well, but there was definitely time for a change, and especially with the ownership of the club, I reckon, as well.
Yeah, but in this one, I think there will be a bit of a bounce.
Yeah.
Could motivate other players. A lot of people question his style of play as well. Former Manchester United boss, Everton boss,
disaster as Man United boss.
Yeah, but I think Bournemouth, the way they play and the way they're not getting results at the moment, down in 16th position, I think this is going to be a straightforward home win to West Ham, even though West Ham haven't won in the league since way back in September. I think they've only won 2 matches, possibly 3 at home all seasons. But I'm going to go for a Hammers victory in this one. Managerial bounce, 2-0.
Yeah, I actually disagree with you slightly. I think it's going to take a lot longer for Moyes to get used to get back into the hot seat and change the way that Pellegrini's set up his team to play. And I reckon that Bournemouth will look at this one and think, can we dethrone David Moyes as quickly as we can, and really show him that you're back in the job. It's even trickier now than it was before when Bilic got sacked. So I'm going to put a 1-1 draw to this one. Next up, we got Arsenal versus Man United. Now, who do you predict to win this one? Arsenal, absolutely awful at the moment. I think, looking at their form, won once in their last 6 matches, lost last time around. Arteta's sort of turned it round, and he's really taught Arsenal how to play out from the back within one 1 hour training session, quicker than Emery could do in 2 years. But looking at Man United, they've improved a little bit. They won the last 2 matches and starting to pick up form now. They've only lost once as well, they've only actually lost once now in their last 6 matches. So but I think Arteta had time to implement his system and show the players what he wants. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Arsenal.
Wow, that is bold.
That is very bold.
I totally disagree. I think Arsenal are very poor at the moment. Okay, Arteta, they did look okay in their last fixture. Against Chelsea, but then they blew it defending. It was a terrible defence.
Their defence is the worst in the
defence, and the keeper just came out flapping as well for that first goal.
Leonard's awful,
absolutely terrible. But Man United, Martial now getting in amongst the goals. Rashford, who's been in very good form of the past 6, 7, 8 matches. It's going to be close. I think Arsenal improvement, you could see slightly improving apart from that defensive frailties as usual, but I'm going to go for an away victory here to the Red Devils. I was mightily impressed with their win against Burnley, and I'm going to go for another win. However, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Manchester United in this one. The final fixture of the weekend takes place on Thursday, one day after New Year's Day. All the other matches would have been concluded, but this one is Liverpool against Sheffield United. Liverpool trouncing everybody before them. Liverpool gets it against Wolves.
As always,
victory, which maybe should or shouldn't have stood.
It should have stood. It was
well, there we go. There we are, Liverpool fans. Sheffield United, I think, stuttering slightly at the moment. Last 2 matches have been a draw against Watford, even though Watford are resurgent at the moment. And last weekend it was a 2-0 away defeat against Manchester City. Liverpool, though, head and shoulders above everybody really at the moment. Can do no wrong. What is it now? 18 of their 19 matches in the league, winning the World Club Championship, doing really well in Europe as well. I can only see a victory here for Liverpool. I'm going to go for a straightforward 2-0 victory, and Lundstrom could possibly be out for this fixture as well.
That's very interesting, that is. But I completely agree with you there, but I do think that Sheffield United will score in this one. They seem to be playing better away than home. I think they've only lost once away from home this season, and that was against Manchester City, so really good away form there. And yeah, I can see a 2-1 victory to the Reds.
Excellent. Okay, so that concludes our predictions for week 21 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. To play along, all you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment, and like Connie Downey and Matthew C02, you could get a shout out in the next Premier League predictions video. Also, I'm going to be picking somebody at random, probably Tuesday evening,
so New Year's Eve,
or early on New Year's Day, if I'm not suffering from a hangover. It'll probably be late, probably like 11 o'clock on New Year's Eve.
Doubt it. I doubt it very much with you.
We'll see. Anyway, so we'll see. Yeah, I'll pick somebody at random to represent you guys, and we'll see how you get on. Before we go, Nathan, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, another manager sacked. Who's next?
I don't know. I can't. You're looking at Eddie Howe, but I can't see Eddie Howe.
They won't get rid of Eddie Howe.
If Southampton have picked up really well, so Hassan Huntelaar, unless they go back into those bottom 3, but at the moment, even Norwich, are they going to panic?
They won't get rid of Farke.
No, I can't see anybody losing their job at the moment. Newcastle doing well as well. Yeah, so at the moment, no one really.
That's interesting, but pick a name.
Farke maybe.
So you're going for
Norwich.
Daniel Farke. That's interesting, that is. I don't think there'll be one for a while now, but I really think if Villa continue to slip, then they'll push the panic button like Fulham did, and they're going to sack Dean Smith. But that is only if they keep losing games.
No, because if they go down, he'd be the ideal man to get them up again. As we know, it's very, very, very difficult to bounce back at the first attempt.
It is. What was the last team that done that?
Probably not even West Brom. Burnley, perhaps. I'm not sure now.
Burnley were the last club, and that was like 4 seasons ago now.
Very tricky now. So then, Nathan, I'd like to wish you a happy New Year, and everybody and viewers. Thanks for all the comments, all the support you've provided throughout
2019.
2019. Thanks for subscribing, for all the new subscribers over the past couple of weeks. I think there's been 100 of you, so welcome aboard. Make sure you make your predictions, and we'll see you all in the next video. Happy New Year. Cheers, guys.
And bring on the next decade as well.